I have a customized version of the Widgeon made for drag racing. Is it actually good? Well, it's bouncing all over the place and the engine is blown up, so maybe not. Except it is actually fast, 11 seconds. What the heck is actually up with this car? Find out in this video. Hey, this is WhyBeAre with BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to be taking a look at the newest car that was added to the game called the Ibishi Widgeon. It is slightly based on the Pigeon, but as far as I'm concerned, it's better in every way possible. We have a handful of different configurations, but we need to start with the most basic one so you can understand just how crazy versions like the Darter actually are. So let's go ahead and load it up. And while it loads up, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Free Fire and McLaren. And they did something really awesome. They actually flew me out to New York so I could attend an event for the collaboration. And the coolest thing there for me was the fact that there was an actual McLaren 720S. It was a beautiful car, and they allowed me to do a really dumb pose in front of it, but I absolutely love this picture, man. And for the Free Fire side of the collaboration, they had a bunch of activities you could participate in. My personal favorite was the aim zone. And I did an amazing job of not hitting anything actually on camera. You can kind of tell I hit the green one, and then when you actually see me aiming, oh no, I miss everything. Even though I kind of sucked on camera, it was still a lot of fun. They also had the skateboard customization section where they had markers you could draw with, but I'm really bad at drawing. So for mine, I just put some stickers on it from the game. Like, this is a very clean, classic look, and I love it. And the last two, I didn't need to do. There was a place you could pose in front of the green screen, but I already got a green screen at home. And then you could play the game on some of the phones they had there, but I already got the game installed on my phone. And one of the things I really can't show you is just how great the community for Free Fire is, because I was invited to the event and I didn't know anything about the game prior to that. So I played as much as I could before the event, but really I was still a beginner at the game. So I had a bunch of dumb questions and everybody there was just so nice about answering everything I asked. So let me answer the question for you guys. What is Free Fire? It's a battle royale game you can play on Android and iOS. 50 players in it, and in just 10 minutes, the game will be over and there will be a winner. And you don't need a fancy phone for this. It'll run on almost any phone, it feels like. Sometime in the future, I may be streaming the game as well. So if you're interested in playing the game with me, go and download it and check it out in the links below. And that way, we can play the game together. Because I want to be driving that McLaren, not this three-wheel tuk-tuk looking dude. I just got to unlock it first. And here we are, the car is loaded up. And when I look at this car, the first thing I think is there really a car out there that actually looks like this? And the answer is yes. This vehicle looks a lot like the Bond Bug, which is a car most of you guys have probably never heard of before, but it looks just like this, and it was designed by Ogle Design, who are the same people who designed the far more popular Reliant Robin, which is most likely the inspiration for the Ibishi Pigeon. Perfectly flipped over. This is the power of the Widgeon. If you did that with the Pigeon, it would probably land on its side. But the Widgeon is wide. That's what the W stands for. It's wide pigeon, aka Widgeon. So when it flips over, it stays on its roof and it's not going anywhere, which is actually probably a bad thing, but oh well. Here we go. Can it do a jump? Can it fly like a pigeon? Just barely. You see how front heavy this thing looks? It just tips straight down. That is sketchy. Speaking of sketchy, tight quarter into the wall. That is hitting just the roof, which means, look at this. There is no damage to the driving components. We can still drive, and we can, whoa, pop a wheelie. Look at my Widgeon, so fast, so strong. He pops big, mean wheelies. At least if you hit him on the roof in the right angle after he's damaged, which is probably like a 1 in a million shot. So there's no way we're not using this take. All right, here we go. Bam. Goodbye, Widgeon. Oh, yeah, that front wheel is, this is me steering left. This is me steering right. Left, right. Doesn't do nothing, but this is me accelerating. It does a little bit, but I don't know where we're going because I can't steer. Left, right. It does nothing. All right, Widgeon, you just chill, go in a straight line, and whatever you hit, you hit. It is still accelerating somehow. It's already brought itself up to 35 miles per hour, and I'm hoping it crashes into just the corner over there. Nope, it's going to drive forever. So we'll just let it drive forever, and we'll come back to him some other time because we're going to take a look at the next configuration, which is called the Sprint version. And on this one, it has 4 wheels. Now, almost every Bond Bug made was a 3-wheeled vehicle, but there were just a small number of them that actually had 4 wheels. So this is still just like a Bond Bug. And just like the real vehicle, it's not that fast. The good news is, though, the 4-wheeled version is much more stable. Look at me swerving from the left and right, and it doesn't tip over at all. Although, It does understeer a ton. This thing is so understeery. That's probably why it can't tip over. Although if you really want to tip it over, it ain't hard. Look at this. Tipping it just like that. Scraping the roof. And will it land on its wheels? No. Will I make it? Yes. Rip the door off a little bit. That was probably the most violent way I could have possibly opened up the door. The important thing is the door is in fact open, and now we can continue driving along without much change to the driving characteristics. It drives pretty much the same as before I crashed it. Bam! And you know what? With the four wheels in the front, guess what? We can kind of steer, but not really because everything is just scraping on the ground. You did pretty good, Widgeon. I'm going to go ahead and freshen you up so you can sit here and relax. And how's the other guy doing? He is still going. My man, you just keep on doing you. I am so proud of you for driving for so long. And the engine's not even overheating. It's just revving at redline non-stop. That is amazing. And while he's doing that, why don't we take a look at the interior of the vehicle? So you see it has a very square interior. All the little details over there are all squares. You see the parking brake is going down, so that means we're accelerating. And then you can take a peek at the very lightweight looking steering wheel. And then if we zoom in, you can see the gauges. I really like the square look. Like, it looks a little bit ridiculous and a lot of retro, and it's perfect for a car that's as ridiculous as this. Although if they were triangles, that might work even better because the vehicle is such a triangle. We can also go ahead and light it up, and we got the lights on the gauges. You notice it's very uneven lighting on these gauges. Like, this is a budget car. They have one light right in the center and it just kind of lights up the whole thing, and that's like such a small little detail, but I absolutely love it. And I think we're flying right now. Let's go ahead and at some point we just decided to fly. Cool. Okay. Well, now we're going to decide to crash. Engine broken. We're not going anywhere, but the amount of damage is surprisingly minimal. If I was to look at it, I would expect it to still drive. Unfortunately, it's done. So, what? How are you still driving? This doesn't even make sense. Well, okay then. I don't even know what to say about that. That is crazy. So anyways, here's one final look at the sprint configuration with its one single mirror. And now we're going to be taking a look at the next one, which is going to be the LX configuration. And on this one, we get double mirrors. Hallelujah. We have two of them. And then also on the back, we got mud flaps, which means this is for mudding, right? No, I don't know why it has mud flaps, but it does, okay? I can't explain everything in this game. And then it also has slightly nicer wheels, as you can see right there as I'm flipping it through the air. And then you can even see the sport exhaust just a little bit. But we're now back on our wheels so you can see how fast the LX version is. It's not that much faster than the ones we were driving before. And again, this is a three-wheeled version, not a four-wheeled one. So let's try to crash this where we destroy the car, but we still have some steering like so. Ooh, that was a really violent crash. Wow, okay, and what is going on with the interior on this thing? Let's take a peek. Woo, we're zoomed in a lot. Let's zoom out so we can actually see what's going on. All right, so everything has been crumpled a bunch. The driver is not in a safe location. Is that like part of the door that's been smashed into there? I really don't know what's going on. Just damage everywhere, and drivability is none. But you know who does still drive? This guy, still going at it. I don't even know how he's managed to not crash. It is spectacular. I want him to just drive forever. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to watch this, and I'm going to report in when he finally crashes. Okay, so I waited about a minute, and it looks like it is going to finally crash and come to a stop. Because there's a pillar directly in front of it, and there's nothing I can do to avoid it, so boom. There goes the vehicle. It did a great job at driving way longer than I expected, but now it can no longer accelerate at all. Good job, Widgeon. I am proud. Now that we're done with him, let's go back to the LX and then replace it. So we're going to replace the LX with the LX Sprint. And this is basically the exact same as the one we were just driving, but it has 4 wheels instead of 3. And right here, yeah, this seems like something it can do, right? Probably not, but we're going to give it a go anyways. So first we got to go up the curb and then back down, and it actually did it. That is the power of a Widgeon, boys. All right, we got to do it again. Can it do it twice? I don't think so, but let's go. Come on, Widgeon. Widgeon, you are the greatest vehicle ever. That is amazing. Okay, here Yeah, we're not going to try it. We don't have enough momentum this time. No way, no how. So let's do the very safe maneuver and just try to exit out of here without flipping over. Yes, there we go. A little bumping. Okay, that's fine. And we are through. Really, not much else to say about this guy because he is so similar to the LX we were driving before. It's just he has 4 wheels, so he's got that extra stability, so he's able to drive through the tubes with a lot of ease. And also he's able to bump into things just as easily. Now, one thing I haven't shown you guys, which is kind of interesting, is the way the car opens up. Because it has the normal doors that you would expect, and then it also has something a little bit unusual. So this whole top canopy piece can open up like so. And it's really cool because it's actually on a hinge and it'll hold itself up like that. And if you really wanted to, you could drive around like that. I don't know exactly what this is going to accomplish, but it's possible. And it's kind of cool because it closes itself up as you drive. And one thing I was wondering is, well, if it closes up when you accelerate, does that mean it'll open up when you brake? Makes sense, right? So you go and then you slam on the brakes and it doesn't do that. Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed about that because it looked really cool, but I guess not. Too much air flowing past it to make it do that. If you really want it to open up though, you could do something like this where you just let it fall backwards and then boom, it is all opened up and then it closes almost immediately. Anyways, that's going to do it for the LX version. Now I want to do the off-road version, and I think the best place to do that is going to be at Jungle Rock Island. And now we need to replace this one with the off-road version, which is called the Pond Skipper. And it's pretty similar to the one we were just driving, but there are some obvious differences. First off, the suspension's a little bigger, and it's got these knobby off-road tires. And then also, it doesn't have any doors. So instead of doors, it has a roll cage. So if you're driving this around doing off-roading, you could very, very easily just fall out of the car. I don't think it happens often when you're off-roading, but it is technically possible. So wear your seatbelts. This is a great reason to wear a seatbelt. You don't want to fall out of the car and the car just keeps on driving without you. That would be terrible. I don't think we're going to make this jump, but here we go, flooring it, and not a chance. Well, sort of made it. We made it onto a lower platform, and do we have some drivability? Yes, we do. Where can we go from here? How about another jump? This one I don't think is going to fare too well, but trying it out. Okay, that really wasn't off-roading, was it? Like, the first part, sure, but then we just kind of started flying through the air, which, yeah, that's not a good test of off-roading capabilities, but it was fun. So this thing's driving all crooked and messed up, so we just freshened up real quickly, and then here's the actual little off-roading test, going down some stairs. That's like going through some rocks. A big old pile of dirt, yep, that's off-roading. Got some more stairs over here, and then after the stairs, that's where things are going to get scary. We have actual rocks, and I don't think this is going to go well, but cross your fingers, and yeah. All right, yeah, this is not going to work out well. It can do off-roading. It is not a rock crawler, though. It'll get stuck on the rocks almost immediately because it is just rear-wheel drive. So let's bring it back up and try to do some more realistic off-roading once more. This time, we're going to go to try to find a dirt road and drive down the dirt road because that seems like the perfect application to have this version where it has just a little bit of off-roadiness for, like, if you have a really long dirt road that goes to your house or something. You see, driving through the grass here, it's able to do that fine. The bushes do slow it down quite a bit because it's a really lightweight vehicle, so you don't want to be off-roading like that a lot, but if necessary, it will work. This is probably a good situation right here. There's no bushes, just the grass we're driving through. It's not going to slow us down, and it's making full use of the off-roading capabilities. It's actually doing great for this. The real question is what's going to happen when we get to the real road, the real dirt road, which is right around this corner. There it is. So we're going to go to the right, and I think the right will have a little bit better area because if we continue along through here, there's that little like off-road park area, and that is the true test. I don't think it'll be able to do much at all at the off-road park, but I have to test it. That's the perfect place to test it. And really, this map needs a spawn point right around there. Because I don't think there is one, is there? I guess there is one that's kind of close by, but it's not the one I would usually think of when I want to go there. Like I look, I say, oh, there's nothing there, and then I go somewhere else. I have to remember that spawn point is near it even though it doesn't look like it. Anyways, the area I'm talking about is right over this bump ahead. So here it is, and let's see how it does just going through the mud. We're slowing down a bit, but that's all right. Here's some more mud. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Wow. I did not foresee that happening. I thought it would be fine going through the mud, but apparently The mud is enough to get it stuck, so we'll have to give it a little boost out of here. And by a little boost, I mean we just chuck it forward a few feet, and that's still too muddy. I think the problem is just the wheels are so small, it's very easy for it to just get stuck in mud like this. Chuck it again, and it's just mud everywhere on this main road. So I think that's going to do it for the Pond Skipper and his capabilities. We could try to go to the next version and see if it gets out of here just because it has more power. Or we could skip over and go to the Mantis. Now this one has a little bit better of a chance, I think, because it has 4 wheels. But that's not gonna make a difference. This mud is too much for the Widgeons. So let's go to somewhere where they can excel at, which would be the drag strip at West Coast, USA. And while this loads up, I gotta say thank you so much to Free Fire for flying me out to New York and sponsoring this video. I had an absolute blast, and I'm really hoping we could do more stuff in the future. And we are officially done with the Pond Skipper, so now it's time to go to the Darter, which is the drag version of the vehicle. And the first thing to do really is to see how fast is it, because with a color scheme like this, it looks fast, right? And it's got a big old bottle of nitrous in the rear, a big old wing. It's got to be fast. The only way to know, though, is to do an actual drag race. So drag version of the Grand Marshal, that sounds perfect. It does 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. Can we compete with that? We are going to find out. Let's go ahead and stage this car up nice and slowly. Don't know exactly where to stage it. And that launch was not that good. It really bogged down a bit, giving the Grand Marshal a good chance to outspeed me, so that's not going so well. Might be able to catch them and go, come on, no. Oh, it was close, but we lost, and yeah, I guess the drag strip stuff is just a little glitched out for some reason, so I don't actually know the time I got, which sucks, but I would say it's probably just about 12 even. And I know I could get this thing a lot faster, it feels like. So I'm going to go to a place where we could actually measure the time, which would be the drag strip at West Coast, USA in time trial mode. So this will be the baseline run. I want to see what does the Darter get, and then I want to try to make it faster because I really feel like this car has a lot of potential to go much faster than this configuration. So going across the line, we are going to get a time of 12.214. Not bad, but I think we can do better. I want to get this thing into the 9s. I don't know exactly how easy it'll be, but I'm sure it'll be possible. So first off, for the engine, it seems like everything is maxed out except for the nitrous. It's only using a 40 kilowatt shot. We can make it an adjustable one and go up to like 200 if the engine can take it. And then also for the body of the vehicle, there's a couple of big changes we can do. First off, roll cage, that adds a lot of weight. This car is a feather. We can't have the weight of that. And then also the canopy, it adds a lot of weight too. So we can add the cowl, which isn't used on any of the vehicles you've seen so far, but it gives you this really cool kind of customized convertible look. And I really wanted to show that off because it looks cool. And then there are a few more modifications we need to make. Like, we don't need the extra downforce, so let's go ahead and get rid of the adjustable wing. And then this thing is perfect. Now we just need to tune it to maximize its performance. For the nitrous, minimum gear, maximum power, minimum RPM. That's how you go fast. It's ready to go. And if I did that dumb thing where I put a random clip at the start of the video, I would be like, I have a customized version of the Widgeon made for drag racing. Is it actually good? Well, it's bouncing all over the place and the engine is blown up, so maybe not. Except it is actually fast, 11 seconds. What the heck is actually up with this car? Find out in this video. And I was still faster than the first run. If I can get a clean run like this, this thing will be blazing. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to drop the nitrous down a little bit so the engine hopefully doesn't blow up. We'll put it to like 130. That sounds reasonable. And then let's also just change the gearing a little bit. I think it was just a little too short. That's what caused it to bounce all over the place. So make it a little longer, a little smoother, hopefully. And we're going to see how do these changes affect the vehicle. This isn't an ideal drag car, but I think this thing can get into the 9s. There are definitely a handful of things I know I can do to make it even faster, but let's just see what can it do. Oh, it's moving fast. And the engine blows up right after the finish line. That was perfect. 9.556. I gained over 2.5 seconds on the regular drag version. That is impressive. Dude, I am so happy with this little quick tweak to the configuration. I'm about to save it. Although if I want it in the picture menu, do I want it broken like this? Yes. Yes, we do. So let's go ahead and say this. Better drag. Actually, it should be better darter. There we go. Save. Boom. Perfect picture. And now, whenever I go to the menu, we got the better darter. Awesome. And now that I think about it, we didn't really drive the normal darter on the roads much at all. No, it's not very good at it at all. In fact, it's just straight up terrible and you shouldn't try this. But we're going to try to drive it around the racetrack anyways. The first corner coming up, we got to go nice and slow. Nice and slow. Stop. Stop. Nice and slow. Thank you. And when I say nice and slow, really, I do mean slow. Also, I noticed immediately the braking. Look at this braking. Ooh, that is bad. When you only have one wheel in the front, stop. Stop. No. No! Oh my gosh. When you only have one wheel in the front, though, braking really, really suffers. I bet if we just swapped the front suspension to have 4 wheels, it would have helped a ton. But that's not what the darter is. If you want something like that, well, that's the next version we're going to be taking a look at in a little bit. But we could do a couple more corners with this guy slowing down so hard. All right, come on, steer. Steer. Oh, yes, there we go. We nailed the apex, actually, without tipping over. That is truly a miracle. Can we do it twice? No, it's just understeering. It is understeering hard. I think, oh goodness. I think what you gotta do is you gotta like really think about the weight transfer on this vehicle. Make sure you have the weight on the front wheel so you can get the traction as you turn, because you had too much weight on the rear wheel probably, which is why it understeered so bad. Man, to drive this thing fast would be a real challenge. So it works. Just not too well, although it did manage to get back onto its wheels spectacularly. But we are going to be done with this one and go on to the next one and final one, which is the Mantis. And it's kind of similar to the customized version I made earlier because it also removes the whole top section, but it includes a roll cage, so it makes it feel more like a dune buggy, where mine felt more like a convertible, I feel like. Anyways, this is the track edition version of the car, basically, so it should be great for this. Why was I trying to use the drag version for this? Just because 3-wheeled on a track, yeah, that's just a recipe for fun, man. All right, so first corner, what are we gonna do? Plow through it, plow through it, plow through it, crash. Well, yeah, not going anywhere. Quick look at the damage. Trying to accelerate, that's what happens. Everything is broken. And I'm actually surprised just how much damage that did. I didn't feel like we were going that fast, but it's such a small car, it is pretty fragile at times. And honestly, it's still not easy to control because the wheelbase is so small. For example, if you do something like just slamming your brakes at a high speed, it will go sideways on you like so, just like that. Just the flick of the car out of absolutely nowhere basically can make you completely lose control. And it does not have ABS. So that's all on you to try to control that thing slowing down, which is not the easiest thing to do. I'm going to try to really just slam on the brakes and drive it hard, but I know it will cause me to spin out. The question is just when. Will it be this corner? Will it be the next one? We're going to find out. That's it. It's gone. That's how fast it can go. That one I was not even trying to do it. It just happened to catch, and oh, now it's not even driving straight. That is not good. Can we just go ahead and get it on the road and try a little bit more? I know you're not driving straight, but come on, please. Oh my goodness, stop it. No, we are not going to drive anymore, are we? We are landing on our wheels, but I think he's officially done. But you know what I want to do real quickly? I'm going to go all the way back to the drag strip, and that actually worked, thank goodness. And I want to make you guys a special version that's just incredibly dumb. That's the only way to put it. It's going to be incredibly dumb. So it's going to be based off of the darter, but it's going to be made to do wheelies. And that's it. It's just to do wheelies. Because I was messing around a little bit earlier trying to find a real fast drag edition configuration. And actually I found one that could get into the 8.9 second range, but we're not going to build that today. But what I ended up accidentally making is one that does some amazing wheelies. It also does some amazing crashes stock. Just absolutely demolish that thing. So let's go ahead and swap out some of the parts that we need to do. And actually, we might even be better off, now that I think about it, starting off with the one that I made, the better darter. And then, we just change a couple of things here. So we're going to go ahead and add the cage back. And this doesn't sound like it's a big thing, but it really changes the way this thing drives. And we'll do the same thing with the wing. We'll add that back. And then if this works the way it did previously and I have the right configuration, this thing should pop a mean wheelie right off the bat. Oh, yeah! That is a wheelie! Literally no wheels on the ground, it launches so hard. Look at this. That is how hard this thing can wheelie completely off the ground. And then it somehow manages to sometimes get back onto the wheels. Sometimes it does that. Yeah, we're saving this too. This is going to be the wheelie config, and I'm going to get a picture of it doing a wheelie. I'm going to put it right in the middle so we got a good camera angle, hopefully. And then gun it. And now we got to see. Does the menu pop open enough to let us save it? Let's see. Wheelie and save. Come on. Yes, it worked. Now we have another custom configuration. And I like how she's sitting vertical. And we can pull that out whenever I want. Now, one thing I should mention, by the way, is it does wheelies better here because it has extra traction on the drag strip. So once you get to the less traction-y parts, it won't do a wheelie as much, which I will demonstrate once we get to a less traction-y part, like the racetrack. Oh, man, I forgot I got bad brakes. I bet I could have this same configuration work just as good almost with the 4-wheel version, but 3-wheeled is fine because the front wheel isn't even touching the ground anyway, so what's the point? Oh, unfortunate. How did you get stuck like that? What? Can the driver just like hop out and push it over? Because seriously, come on now. Go, go, go. It's not going anywhere. Well, Widgeon, I don't know what you were trying, but you failed. So yeah, if you really want to do the wheelies, just go to the drag strip where you got the extra traction, and then it is just absolutely magnificent. And if you just keep flooring it, it should just keep bouncing basically. Let's see. Come on, bounce. Yes-ish. I was expecting something more like that. There we go. That's some bouncing. Beautiful job. Aw, rear drive shaft broken. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for this video. And one last time, I gotta say thank you so much to Free Fire. Again, guys, please check out the game. There's a link in the description, probably in the comments as well if I remember. I've been playing it myself, and I'm not going to stop until I unlock the McLaren and get to drive it around. Until next time, this has been WhyBeAre, and remember, if you like or dislike this video, I will know. I can tell by comparing this car to the real car and finding the differences. So do the right thing, and I'll see you next time.